Welcome to the feedback for 10.3 quiz. So question 1 was, why are the reactions of solid halide ions with sulfuric acid different for different halogens? As you can see, majority of you got the correct answer, so 74% of you got that the halide ions have different reducing powers. So the most common wrong answer was the halide ions have different oxidizing powers. So we need to remember people quite often get confused between oxidizing and reducing. Even though we know that oxidation is loss, reduction is gain, when we talk about something doing oxidizing and doing reducing, we sometimes get them mixed up. So if something's oxidizing, then it's causing loss of electrons, so it's got to gain electrons itself. And if something's reducing, then it's causing something else to gain, so it's giving up an electron. So if it's a halide ion, it's a negative ion, so it's got to be a reducing agent. Question 2, which halide ions produce steamy fumes when concentrated sulfuric acid is added? So over half of you got this right, but the wrong answers were kind of quite evenly spread. So the correct answer that I've highlighted there is chloride, bromide, and iodide. So all of them give steamy fumes, and that's because it's the initial reaction that gives the steamy fumes. So the steamy fumes are the HCl, the HBr, the HI, and that happens in all cases. It's just that for HBr and HI, there's a further reaction that occurs. Question 3, which halide gives a bad egg smell when sulfuric acid is added? So most of us got this right, but it's the iodide, and it's the iodide because the hydrogen sulfide gas is made. So that bad egg smell is hydrogen sulfide gas. Question 4, when silver nitrate is added to distinguish between the halide ions, which acid is added as the first step? So again, most of us got this right. The correct answer is nitric acid. It can't be hydrochloric acid because we're doing this test to distinguish between the halide ions. And so if we add hydrochloric acid, we're adding Cl- ions. So we're adding chloride ions, which will then create, when we add the silver nitrate, would react with the silver nitrate to give silver chloride. So it would give us a false positive. So it's important that it's not hydrochloric acid. Right, last question. When ammonia is added to the silver precipitate of halide ions, what will be observed? And only 65% of us got this right, but I think that was because there was a mistake in the question when it first went out. So I think most of those wrong answers are from when the answer was wrong. So the correct answer is that the chloride dissolves in dilute and concentrated ammonia. The bromide only dissolves in concentrated ammonia, and the iodide doesn't dissolve in either. So if you did get it wrong and it wasn't because the question was wrong, that's just some facts that you need to learn, so go back over it. Thank you for listening.